first party perspective, right? They started the year with Ninja Gaiden Black 2, the remake. They shadow dropped that,
Yep.
right? Then they went immediately into Avowed in February, right? Then in I don't know if they had anything April, but in March they had South of Midnight. In May they had Doom: The Dark Ages. In June they had what they do in June? Was it Tony Hawk, right?
Yeah.
Or that may have been July, right? Then they went into Gears Reloaded. Then they did what's the name of this game? What was it? Outer Worlds. Oh, Oblivion remake. They did. Which was huge. That was April as well. But then we've got Outer Worlds, then we've got obviously Call of Duty, we've got Keeper.
You got Doom: The Dark Ages. You have Grounded 2. You have Call of Duty that just released. It's so I'll give it.
Gears Reloaded.
Yeah, here it.
Now, I'm in the middle of watching the Gaming Circle podcast, and Everborn and the gentleman on here decided to go into the software deployment of Xbox in this year alone. Now, my thesis that I've made since Activision Blizzard King, Bethesda, were acquired by Xbox is, and that thesis, it continues to basically maintain the same format, is that Xbox will bludgeon PlayStation into irrelevance from a first-party software perspective. I've been calling it different things like content delivery or the content dump or whatever it is you want to call it, but there is no PlayStation world where they can actually fight against this barrage of games. You see, the conversation had kind of always been around, PlayStation's first party is so cute, it's so cool, it's so quality, it's so this. And I've always laughed because as somebody who plays these PlayStation games, and I like some of them, they're my favorite games, I've always wondered and said to myself, are these cats actually quite serious about this? Do they really mean these things? Because the saturation in the market now has Xbox as a major saturation player that I guess nobody who wanted to listen is now listening. Colin Moriarty, Last Stand Media, said, there are too many studios making too many games for too few consumers that have too little time. It's survival of the fittest at its very essence. Nintendo 64 had fewer than 400 games. PlayStation 2 got into several thousand. 18,000 games have been published on Steam in 2025. It's math. Now, I didn't need Colin Moriarty to tell me all of this because I've been making how many videos a week telling you about the Steam DB's game release per year. You can see the game releases, Steam game release summary by year. This is it. This is your view to the saturation in the world. And just like that, 2025 has already surpassed 2024 and is pushing to possibly 19,000 games. The exponential changes are what you should also be concerned with if you care. I mean, why should you care? You're a gamer, more, possibly better, more competition, most likely better games, most likely better titles coming to the gamer. And so this literally takes into account everything that we've been saying. And I've shown you guys this particular growth trend that if you look at just the difference between any 10 years or any 4 years or any 3-year window, it will shock you. Take 2006 to 2008. There's a jump of about 0.3. Take 2008 to 2010, you see a jump of 30 games, not too many on Steam. But the moment you pass that 2013, when PlayStation 4, Xbox One launch period, you start to see that something went nuts and something became crazy. And what I even fear more is that there are people in Colin Moriarty's comments who continue to spout the same lies, which are that most of these 18,000 games are shovelware without having done their own due diligence to go and see these games themselves to see which are the top rated. In fact, some of them are reducing all 18,000 to only about 1,000 of them that are actually good and viable games, not realizing that the PC gaming community, the gaming community at large, is very much in tune with viral games, live service games, small type games, really janky kind of games that you would not even think would do anything crazy. And that's exactly what you're seeing. If we even rate these games, which you can come here and you can do them by, Steam rating, many of them are highly rated and you have not heard of them from the mouths of these console folk, even though they are just mini tiny little games in comparison to these big massive productions. They are very, very well liked, very well enjoyed. And let me even show you the worst part. They are collectively taking time away from the bigger titles in the single player category. Listen to me. Your Spider-Man 2 game is literally getting suctioned into irrelevance by some itsy tiny little Fly Night game that is over here on Steam, as this Fly Night game has gotten 10,000 reviews. Excuse me, did you hear what I said? Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and show you something really. Let me lend you something. Let's go to Steam. Let's look at Marvel Spider-Man 2. Okay? Let me show you something. Because some of you, you don't listen. Look at Spider-Man 2. Look how many reviews Spider-Man 2 has gotten. Let me show you. Look at it. Look at it. You see that? It's gotten about 12,000, 13,000 reviews. 13,000 reviews. How many reviews did I show you that Fly Night? Where is it at? Come here. Fly Night. This game that many of these folk in these comment sections will say, oh, I just jank. My dude, Fly Night is over here with a 93.6% review. Chilling. You got to understand, right? That this collective, beating, that's what it is. It's a collective smacking. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. The developer and publisher is Wabba Boy. Wabba Boy. This is what you're up against. I'm not even talking about the live service games. Because I think we focus too much on them. Yes, 43 or more percent of, gaming playtime is spent on the live service games. But how about the other 57%? Where is that playtime going? Well, it's going to Fly Night. Some of it is going to Fly Night. Maybe it's like point something percent is going to Fly Night. Ball X Pit. 16,000 reviews. It's rated more than Spider-Man 2. Guys, gals, listen very carefully. Sultan's Game, 30,000 reviews. What is this game? Good night. Are y'all seeing this? Are y'all seeing this? Dino Blade demo. People are looking forward to Dino Blade, a dinosaur that somebody has basically attached a blade to its mouth. Is going to run around in a Souls-like possibly and whack at bad things. And people are looking at its demo going, ooh, juicy. Guys, do you know how cooked AAA is? Because now gaming is no longer, big publisher focused. It's now come to the community focus level. Do you know what that does? It means that the big guys and the big guns have to actually figure out, what's this game? Oh, it's coming next year. Bro, the demo is already popular. Overwhelmingly positive. Oh, Lord have mercy. See, if Xbox is not dumping games, they will disappear. And PlayStation will too. You could be selling hardware, but you're just going to relegate yourself to becoming the status of a hardware seller. And that's it. As a publisher, you really got to understand that this is the way to go. And Xbox hasn't tapped into ID as hard as they could, which they are. But man, they need to tap in even to the smaller perspectives for viral games. That right here is what is overtaking the industry. Viral projects that can be kicked off by 2 college guys, 2 high school kids who just watch some tutorials and have a love for gaming, and they can put together a title like Fly Night or Dino Blade that would absolutely put to shame a lot of these bloated titles that we are seeing over here. That's what it is. And as much as y'all may be here in the comment section, right? This one says you misunderstand. There aren't enough good. There aren't good enough games that people want to play. And there are too many people making the same type of game instead of showing something new. That's not true. Skull King 266. That's crazy. This one says 18,000. Here's the sentiment, and a good 85% is slop. Insane. Meanwhile, there was about 75% of okay to amazing PS2 games. Let's not forget all the subgenres that vanished from the 2000s. Nirvana's Den, they did not vanish. They're here. You have just been, marketed to watch the movie games, big production, high fidelity, high graphics, and blah, blah, blah. That's what you've been, in a sense, conditioned, and not myself included. We like these kind of games. But we forget that those games that we used to jump on back in the PS2 days, right? The games that you would have been crying to your mommy to buy for you if you were a child in the PS2 days. That is, some of you are like, huh? I was buying the games in the PS2 days. Calm down, OG. I wasn't talking to you. But you know what I mean? You would have been like, mommy, I want Ball X Pit. I don't know, man. I don't know what you would have been saying, But you got to think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to think about it. It is this slop that you're saying over here that's cooking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this thing you're calling slop, they are cooking collectively, and they don't find with ease, in terms of reviews, in terms of collective play accounts, in terms of all of that, they are all here collectively spanking big publisher games. Some of the big publisher games will make it in. No problem. Right? But still, the little guy, bruh. The little guy is chilling over here. Look at where Spider-Man lands. Look at where Shadows lands. Look at that. In terms of, what is this? In terms of ranking, this is, what is this category? Football Manager, from low to high, high to low. You can come here, you can do the work. It's okay, guys. Let's get off Twitter. Let's look at the data. Let's look at that. The data would inform you on what's going on. All right, carry on. Thanks for watching. Peace out.